It will be my duty, gentlemen of the jury, on behalf of the Crown, to lay an outline of the facts of this case before you, as simply as I possibly can, in order to enable you to follow the evidence which will afterwards be given by the various witnesses. I will make one preliminary observation only, and that is to ask you to dismiss from your minds anything you may have read or heard about this case, because no one can doubt that the question involved has been much discussed on both sides in the public press and elsewhere. And I'm sure I shall have the concurrence of my lord when I urge the jury to try this case only upon the evidence which may be given from the witness box. There are several indictments against the defendants, but at the present moment the accused are before you on one indictment simply. They are arraigned under the 55th section of the Act, which provides that whosoever shall unlawfully take or cause to be taken any unmarried girl under the age of 16 years out of the possession and against the will of her father or mother or of any other person having the lawful charge or care of her shall be guilty of misdemeanor. I will not enter into collateral matters, nor go, for the present at any rate, into what may have led the defendants to pursue the course they have done. Mr. Stead is, I believe, the editor of the Pall Mall Gazette. Mr. Jaques is also in some way connected with that paper and with Mr. Stead. Mr. Bramwell Booth is a person of position in what is called the Salvation Army. Mrs. Coombe also belongs to the Salvation Army. And the woman Rebecca Jarrett, who sometimes passed for the name of Mrs. Sullivan, is a principal actor in the case. The girl whom they are charged with unlawfully taking away is Eliza Armstrong, who was 13 years old on April the 8th last.
October the 23rd, 1885, the Central Criminal Court of the Old Bailey. The Attorney General, Sir Richard Webster, is opening the case for the prosecution in what had become known as the case of Eliza Armstrong. It's nice to see him making that necessary legal request to the jury that they must dismiss from your minds anything you may have heard or read about this case. He must have known that he was asking for an impossibility, because the case had been the subject of worldwide concern in one form or another for at least 3 or 4 months before the case came up at the Old Bailey. Now, in the dock is W.T. Stead, famous as the editor of the Pall Mall Gazette. And the charge is that he, with others, had taken away a young girl, Eliza Armstrong, from her home in a Marylebone slum, without her father's consent, and submitted her to an act of indecent assault. Now, Stead's version, not surprisingly, was quite different. He claimed that the girl had been bought legitimately from her mother for £5. The mother was really quite clear that she'd been bought for sexual purposes and that she was likely to end up as a child prostitute. It seems a pretty unlikely case for someone of Stead's standing and for members of the Salvation Army to get mixed up in. But Stead's actions were, in fact, all part of a crusading campaign. At 35, he'd been described as one of the most influential men in England, and his reputation had been built on newspaper campaigns against various areas of corruption and incompetence in public life. And on this particular occasion, he decided that something had to be done about the vice of child prostitution, which was rife in many Victorian towns. So, back in the summer, he published a series of articles with the rather grand title of The Maiden Tribute of Modern Babylon, which explored the existence of child prostitution in London. And being a very thorough journalist, he wasn't prepared to base those articles just on hearsay or report. He was determined to get full, concrete detail about how these things happened. So he employed an ex-prostitute called Rebecca Jarrett to actually go off and buy him a girl, and that girl was Eliza. And having bought her, she was taken to a brothel in the West End to have her virginity examined by an abortionist called Madame Mores, and after that she was put to bed and chloroformed. Stead was quite determined that he was going to test and verify every moment of his potential purchase, as he called it, short of the actual moment of sexual assault. And he always claimed, I think rightly, that Eliza came to no harm in his hands. Immediately after this, he shipped her over to France and put her into the care of the Salvation Army. Now, all these events Stead wrote up in his articles, and they caused an absolute sensation in Victorian England. So much so that public opinion was mobilised, and within a mere 6 weeks, a bill was passed through Parliament, rushed through Parliament, which raised the age of consent from 13 to 16. At the same time, though, the articles had stirred up a lot of spiteful gossip back in Charles Street, Eliza's home, and her mother had gone to complain to the police. So, ironically, in his moment of triumph, Stead now found himself up before a Bow Street magistrate on charges of abduction and indecent assault.
I shall now proceed to take the evidence of the facts I have laid before you.
Silence in court.
I call Eliza Armstrong.
Call Eliza Armstrong.
And it was at Bow Street, prior to the main hearing at the Old Bailey, that the public first heard Eliza tell her own story in her own words.
Take the book in your right hand and repeat after me. I, Eliza Armstrong,
I, Eliza Armstrong,
do swear by Almighty God
do swear by Almighty God
that the evidence I shall give
that the evidence I shall give
shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Thank you.
Now, Eliza, what happened then?
Jarrett and I went into the house. A servant opened the door for us. Jarrett asked for Madame. That is Madame.
Yes, stand up.
Madame came into the room.
All right, thank you. When Madame came in, what did Jarrett say? Well, then what took place?
They took me into another little room.
Before they took you away, what was said?
They were talking, but I couldn't tell what they were talking about.
Then Madame took you away into another room.
Yes.
When you got into the other room, what took place?
Madame lifted my clothes and touched me with her hand.
Where were you when this took place?
I was standing up by the side of her.
What were you doing when she did this?
I was trying to get away.
Did you say anything?
No, sir.
What did she do when you tried to get away?
Then she let go of me.
Did she say anything to you before she did this?
No, sir.
Was the door of the room open or shut?
Open.
Did you call out at all?
No, sir.
Did she hurt you?
No, sir.
And then your clothes were let down.
Yes.
Well, then what did she do?
She took me out of the room.
Where to?
To the next room.
Is that where Jarrett was?
Yes.
Did you say anything to Jarrett as to what had happened?
I said Madame was a dirty woman.
Did Jarrett say anything to that?
No, sir. They both went out of the room then.
Did Madame say anything about you before they left the room?
No. Jarrett and Madame went away about a quarter of an hour. Then they called me to go to a cab and Jarrett and I left the house.
Did you see any money paid or paper given?
No. Outside there was a four-wheel cab waiting. I didn't hear where Jarrett told the cabman to drive to, but we were driven to Poland Street, where we stopped opposite a ham and beef shop, where Jarrett got change in order to pay the cabman.
At that time, did you see some men?
Yes, two. Me and Mrs. Jarrett walked up the street, and these two men followed us. We went into a house next door to the ham and beef shop, and the two men did so too. The two gentlemen went in first, into a back room, upstairs on the first floor. Jarrett and I then went upstairs, into the front room, on the same floor, which was a bedroom.
One of the gentlemen have you seen since?
I know Mr. Jaques.
Was he one of the two gentlemen?
Yes,
You undressed and went to bed.
yes,
Did Mrs. Jarrett then come to bed?
yes, but she didn't undress. She only laid alongside of me on the bed.
Did she do anything to you?
She put something on a handkerchief. I couldn't see what it was.
What did she do with the handkerchief?
Put it up to my nose.
Did you smell anything?
Yes, a funny smell.
Did she say anything when she gave you this?
She said it was scent.
Did she say what you were to do?
She said, give it a good sniff up.
What did you do after the handkerchief was put to your nose?
I threw the handkerchief by the side of the bed.
Did you sniff it or not?
Yes. Mrs. Jarrett then got up, and then I heard somebody at the door, which was open.
Did anybody come in?
Yes, sir.
Did you see who came in?
There were curtains all around the bed and I couldn't see.
You were undressed, in bed, at this time.
Yes.
What did you do?
I could hear a voice and I could tell it was a man's voice.
Yes, what did you do?
I screamed out. I said, "There is a man in the room." Jarrett said, "What is the matter?" I heard a man go out.
The terseness and directness of Eliza's evidence is very impressive. In many ways, her rather staccato understatement is a lot more evocative than the full account that Stead himself had written up earlier in the Pall Mall Gazette. This is how Stead had described the similar events. All was quiet and still. A few moments later, the door opened and the purchaser entered the bedroom. He closed and locked the door. There was a brief silence, and then there rose a wild and piteous cry. Not a loud shriek, but a helpless, startled